And then I can show you that there are products and companies that thought they were doing well, just spending a couple $1,000s a week, a month, whatever, on Facebook. Well, what if I showed you that you could actually take it? Let's say you had a budget that you were spending $2,000 a month on Facebook. What if I could show you that you could get that up to $100,000 a month and still be amazingly profitable? These are the things that people are not focused on. So, and I say Facebook, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's LinkedIn, there's all these different digital channels that are available to the marketplace. The other thing is, I imagine many of your business owners that are part of following you, Joe, have done very well in face-to-face kind of environments. Well, hey, that's great, but with COVID, they're now people are moving towards the virtual experiences. So some of the biggest jumps in stocks when COVID first hit, companies that were doing mobile technologies, doing doctor calls via the internet, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to be able to try to look at your business. Look at what does it cost to acquire the customer? What's the lifetime value of that customer? How can I go put my customer acquisition on a 10x multiple? And that's what we're doing. In fact, just one example. A gentleman is an old friend of mine. I've known him for many, many years. Carl Deichler was the gentleman that started Beachbody. And Beachbody grew to $1 billion business. And when COVID first hit, what was Carl doing? He was focused on customer acquisition like you've never seen before, spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, giving away for free $8,000 worth of video programs for free. Just go to this site, click here, and you get it. So this, and by the way, yes, they were for free, but he had a whole program of bringing people through a funnel where they could then become customers where their lifetime values were extended in terms of the value of that customer. Because some people want it for free, but others will opt into upsells and bigger packages, et cetera. So there's a lot of things that can be done. And all of the things that I just mentioned really start with a small test. You don't go just, like I said, Carl Deichler was spending millions. His first spend was probably $2,000. Oh, 2,000 brought back 10. Then he spent 10. 10,000 brought back 50, and just kept those multiples going until he's up to $1 million, bringing back X. And that's why the world that we're in has great opportunities, because things have shifted. People want to do things over the internet. They want to do things in a protected fashion. And I think there's great opportunities out there for people in private practice right now to do this.
Well, I think, Kevin, you make a great point of thinking outside of maybe our typical product, because, the typical product of doing one-on-one or family counseling, even if it's telehealth over Zoom or, other HIPAA compliant platforms, that's not really scalable because it's based completely on your time. And so the idea of what else is this client dealing with, and not just that client, but clients nationwide. So if you're an expert around depression, sure, you can do counseling to help people with depression, but there's a million other things that you could create, that you could partner with people on, that when you look at that scalability side, that's where the 10x or 100x really comes in. And I love how you're pointing to systems, to processes, to scalability, because I think that's something that a lot of our listeners don't even think about. They just kind of buy themselves a job. And so maybe they're making more money than they would have in a different job, but it's still based on them working 20 to 30 to 40 hours a week, instead of saying, well, what other problems can I address here within my expertise to really expand this business in a way that goes so much farther beyond just typical counseling?